How's it, everybody? Celtic here. We are back for another Dokkan Battle video. In today's video, we are taking down the new Greatest Tours event, clearing all missions with the GT Heroes team. Now, we are kicking off this video from the last two fights versus the Super 17 and the Omega Shenron, and that is simply because I didn't want to bore you with 30 minutes of grinding fodder, basically, right? First three fights against Baby, Lud, and who's the other one? It's Rildo. They're super easy fights. I mean, there's almost no challenge to them. Like, you got to try to die to those first three fights, and it's like 30 minutes. So I just took those down, and we're starting from 17. So we actually do have our Dokkan attack right now. Now we are putting the Super Saiyan 3 Goku in front here just because he's type advantage, and I need to keep him on for the next phase. It is actually best we don't. Well, I mean, I guess if we basically we got two options here. I either need him to dodge slot 1 in the next phase, or we need to be using Giant Form to transform, because in the next phase, 17 can stun, right? Like, we're gonna power through this. Nice, we get that counter with our SDR Super Saiyan for Goku. So again, we're using the GT Heroes team because it's an easy team that allows us to have access to one of the 11th anniversary units, specifically the Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta, and I wanted to make sure that, I did this with no new units, because I know, a lot of people struggle to use, do some of these events without the new units. So, you know how we do things here. So this fight in particular is a little tricky because you have to make sure that you don't kill this first phase too fast so that both of your rotations can stack up. Because the second phase, right, he's got the Broly effect and he stuns you. So we have to be careful. So thankfully we didn't do too much damage on this rotation. Now, yeah. All right. So we're gonna put the fours, let them stack up here. If we're lucky, we'll get a stack on Gogeta here, and then we'll rotate Pan. It's not too big of a deal on this one if Pan doesn't build up, right? She really just needs to dodge. That's what we've got here for. There we go. Now hopefully the fours don't kill, and Gogeta can at least get one of his attack raises up. Hopefully, there we go. They might kill though. Looking at how much damage that just did, they might actually kill. Oh, okay, maybe not. We're not getting crits, though. Yeah. So this is kind of basically where the fights really kick off in not only difficulty but in boss HP and their super attacks, right? Like these guys' super attack. This is a 5 million super attack. And while the baby has a 7 million super attack in the previous phase, right, he literally goes down with like one turn of Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and that's kind of why I didn't even bother loading him up on there. Okay, so yeah, we did not take any damage. So what we're going to do is we're going to put Super Saiyan 3 Goku in slot 1 here, and we're gonna bank on a dodge. Here we go. Here's the attack. Yes. Okay, so he is programmed to super slot 1. So that's kind of why we have to be careful with this, and that's why I went with the strategy I went with here, because yeah, he is programmed to super slot 1, and that super will stun us. So if we want to keep up damage, we have to make sure whoever we put in slot 1 can either handle that stun or, like Goku, dodge it. And if we're lucky, we'll take some damage on the next turn, and we can actually proc Giant Form and give us a free turn here. There we go. So one thing we could have done here, we could have risked a 70% counter, and since it's still since this is his first appearance on the Gogeta, we could have put him in slot one. But I do think it was probably better that we keep the. I do think it was probably better that we keep the Goku on for giant form next turn. Because regardless, we actually don't we don't even need the damage because it'll be turn 5. We can use the giant form regardless. Okay, so perfect. Since it's turn 4, we can actually transform our force, and even though they didn't do stack up all that much, it will be helpful to have that counter in slot 1 because they'll either tank or counter right here. So you know what? Let's do it. Okay, and then I'm gonna switch into Goku here. Just to get some rainbow, just to get some int orbs this turn. We're gonna use that active skill. Didn't do too much yet. So he's only got 700 million HP, and if that had crit, we could have done a little bit of good damage here. But we're just gonna power through here. Maybe we could have stacked up a little more here. Yeah, maybe we should have tried to stack up a little more. There we go. There we go. Get some crits. All right, 30 million. Not a whole lot here. Yeah, 700 million is what we're dealing with here. So, yeah, maybe we should have let Goku try to stack up a little bit more here. Now, us not critting is really not nice either. I don't like that. Yeah, I have been noticing that my Goku is not critting a lot on his active skill turn. Again, back to what I was saying before in their hidden potential build, it might actually be a good idea to give them a little bit of, well, 7 million is not that bad. Give them a little bit of crits for that, at least for the active skill, because he doesn't get his crit till you pick up his, int orbs, right? So, might actually not be a terrible idea to get the. To give him a little bit of crit for that active skill turn in case you just less, like, you know, less you have to do for missing that active skill crit, or you could just reset the app and crit fish. That works too. I think I did that for one of the fob runs, is just reset till we got the crit, because yeah, you can't be missing crits in against Vegito there. There we go. Okay. I don't like that we're not taking all that much hits with Gogeta, because, yeah, we're not going to be able to use his active. I'm realizing that now. Again, no crits. This is actually hurting us, right? Because with that 700 million HP, if I knew we weren't going to crit, I would have just stayed in the other. I mean, we done some decent damage, but if I knew we weren't going to crit, I would have just stayed in the Goku, in the Vegeta state, and continue to stack for the turn. That's probably, in retrospect, that's probably what we should have done. But it's whatever. It's done now. So there you go. So there goes the giant form. So at least this turn we get kind of a free turn here. The thing I will state is that now we got to be extra careful who we put in slot 1. We can't put AGL Goku in slot 1. Might be able to get away with putting Pan in slot 1, but I'm pretty sure STR Goku can tank here. But he is 30%. He does build up 10% with each attack received. So I think he's up to 300%, and he's fully built up by this point. And for every Ki Blast super we do to him, he gets stronger. So like, this giant form is actually making him stronger. Alrighty, so we are out of the giant form here. Actually, not a decent setup. I think we just maintain. Well, Yeah. Let's just keep the rotations together. So let's grab that with SDR Goku. So I'm going to try to grab as many orbs as I can. Oh, why did I do that? Okay. I was going to say, grab the type orbs here. So that way we can, there we go. Yeah, like I thought, SDR Goku being the GOAT that he is, downplay on his character will never cease to amaze me. He's incredibly good. But here we go. Excellent. Perfect. And then now we get extra attack from the Goku. Okay, so I mean, transforming last turn wasn't the worst thing in the world, although it probably would have been better for us in the long run. It would have taken us the same amount of time, right? But yeah, I think it would have been better in the long run to just stack up last turn and not use Goku's active, but whatever. Yeah, see, this fight is actually a challenging fight to be completely honest. And like, if it wasn't for the fact that it takes 30 minutes to get here, I would say that right, we could consider this as one of the challenging fights for like if 17 was by himself, right? If we had just like a new GT bosses red zone, and 17 was by himself here, right? This 17 fight, this would be one of the hardest fights, right? This would be in contention with some of the special battle fights, but because it takes us 30 minutes to get to this point, I don't know that I want to consider that because I don't want to be doing 30 minutes to get here every single time, but we'll see. All right, so we actually do have the active skill for the Fizz Gogeta now, so jeez, this is tricky. I guess I'm trying to decide who I keep. I guess we just keep the fours on for the entrance into the Omega Shenron. Nice. Okay, yeah. So we would have ended on this turn regardless. So I do not like only getting 2 rainbow orbs there. We really need to counter here. We will. Okay, so they will die if this super connects. But I do think it's better than 50% dodge with Goku. We do get the connect. Okay, we do get the counter. Thank you. I guess it's the same, right? Because his counter is 50% right now. There we go. Yeah, I guess it's about the same, huh? Regardless, we do get the counter, and there we go. All right, so 17 is down, and that takes us in to the next phase against the Omega Shenron. Now, this fight, I would consider one of the hardest fights in the game. At least in contention with the artificial life forms red zone. But again, my problem is it takes so long to get here, right? We are technically 45 minutes into this, or actually just a little under. I think it's closer to 35 minutes into this, and yeah, this is not good. All right, so now a little bit of a trick here. Omega Shenron. Okay, so what makes this fight hard is how the phase 1 works, right? The phase 2 isn't that bad. It's the phase 1 in this one that gets you. He has a 6 million super right off the bat. He can super twice. He can seal one of your units. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, so like you see here, he sealed our Gogeta. There we go. So, but yeah, he's got a Ki Blast super. And so I was hoping that he would super slot 1 and at least Gogeta could counter, but he said, nah, bro, I ain't doing that. Here we go, get an additional super with STR Goku. And okay. Uh-oh. Oh, no. That means the super's got... Oh. All right, we're going to have to bank on a double dodge here. Woo! Okay, there it goes. Oh, jeez, come on. Really? Double super slot 3. And there it goes. Okay, thank goodness. Okay, we got out of there. And now he sealed Pan. Of course he sealed Pan. Why wouldn't you seal Pan? Okay, well, at least all the rainbow orb changing got rid of the bombs. That's nice. Okay, and so with enough orbs, if he decides he wants to super slot 1 there. I think we can tank this. I will tell you, you want to make sure you're entering that. There we go, EX Super. You want to make sure you're entering this phase with full HP because the Goku and Vegeta, the year 11s, can actually take some damage from that 6 million super if you don't get every single one of Vegeta's rainbow orbs. So you do want to make sure you come into this with full HP, or at least your Dokkan attack ready, because they will take it. And if you have anybody who counters Ki Blast supers or has a good dodge chance, then you definitely want to put them slot 1 for that first turn, at least just to make sure that you know, you can either counter or dodge that super, because it's a little scary if it happens in slot 1. 6 million turn 1s, it's a little rough. That's a little rough. There we go. Yeah, now he does only have 200 million HP here, so you can see it's actually pretty easy for us to take him down in about 2 phases. Excellent. And so, since Pan is sealed, we're probably not killing him this turn, which means we're going to have 1 more turn, which, as long as if he doesn't, I kind of hope he doesn't seal Gogeta again. So that way we can at least get one of those stacks off on his offense. Here we go. Okay, there goes the super. The 4s on this turn should be able to handle it. Yeah, double. Wow. Okay, so this he's not done in a while. To me, in a couple of the runs, I've never had him directly super like that. One right in front of the other. So that's interesting because it's happened twice now. Alright, perfect. Okay, so we can actually do this number and let Gogeta get off his stacks here. There we go. Yeah, so it's super slot 1 there. And we do. Oh, wait, no. Is he going to do it again? Okay, thank goodness. I was about to say, if he does a second super that... Okay, see, so now he didn't super twice in a row. I was just gonna say, if he supers twice in a row, we're not gonna stack. Thank goodness. Okay. All right. Now, perfect. Now, we didn't take any damage this turn, so we're gonna have to try to stall here with AGL Goku. Now, for this one, we gotta blitz as much damage as we can in this phase because this super here is an AoE super, and we only have 6 turns to deal as much damage as we can. Not 6 turns, 6 charges to deal as much damage as we can, because if we don't deal with this, there we go. All right, so let's use Goku's active, and again, missing the crit. The thing is, after the 6 charges, like, we're still fighting the same boss, but then his domain goes active, and then we deal even less damage. So I actually think it's better in the long run that we just do this. So we can see where the super is. I think it's probably just best that we let, we let Goku attack first. So, because I don't want to rely on the 50% dodge with Goku, I would rather. I'm not sure how much damage he's going to take from that AoE super. I think it's probably best that we let him super first. But good God, why we should not be missing these crits. There we go. Yeah, so deal as much damage as we can in the 2 turns that we have here without his domain, because as soon as that domain goes up, we're going to be dealing even less damage. The thing is, he also has 1.2 billion HP, so I don't know. Obviously, we're not going to kill in 2 turns. There we go. Okay, we do get his dodge. We do get the counter, and so now we just need that 70% dodge off of the Super Saiyan 3 Goku. We do get it. Excellent. Okay. All right. So, not... Regardless, we were going to have to transform the 4s, right? Because of the AoE super. Regardless, we were going to have to transform the 4s. Um, you know, we probably could have gotten away with not transforming, but I don't know. I'm kind of at the point where I don't want to take risks. Again, 45 minutes into this video, Risk is not a game I want to play. Risk is not a game I want to play. Excellent. I mean, so we did decent damage here. All right, let's pop Gogeta's. Now, his AoE super is an other type super, so we cannot... Yeah, okay, 90 million, still good. All right, is an other type super, so we're just gonna have to rely on this. So I'm putting STR Goku slot 1 in case he does decide to super slot 1 again. Oh, we should grab those tech orbs, but whatever. I'm putting STR Goku slot 1 just in case he does super. Obviously, I don't want him to eat the super pre-super because I don't think he can survive an AoE super, but I know he'll definitely survive it if we super first here. So I'm pretty sure he's gonna be fine here. Yep, good. Nice. And then Pan gets her 80% dodge. Perfect, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, Omega Shenron, because it's an AoE super, it actually doesn't deal that much damage. It only does 3 million, but it is an AoE super, right? So that's 3 million you have to deal with pre-super on your units, which is not always easy when you're entering this on turn, 3. So... There we go. Right. So, I mean, we've nearly... So my plan worked. With it. We've taken down nearly a third of his health. I'm sorry, 2/3 of his health on these turns here. There we go. Pan getting that damage. And we love to see it. There you go, Pan. Perfect. Get another one? Nope, that's normal. Okay, so plan worked out. We've done just about 2/3 of his health before that domain goes up. So now we just got to whittle away at his health once the domain is down. That was kind of the plan I wanted to go with here. Take as much out as we can before that domain goes up. All right, perfect. Okay, so we have the active skill here for Gogeta. Perfect. Deals some decent amount of damage. So I once... There we go. And we get the Dokkan attack. Now, the Dokkan attack won't deal too much damage with... won't deal too much damage with Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta here. But I would rather us have a post-super counter with the domain up for Gogeta. I think that is better for us in the long run. And since we did get Goku's and Orbs last turn, he should maintain his buff. I mean, he's not going to do as much damage as he's doing on his active skill turn, but we should still have all the other buffs that came with his in Orb pickup. There we go. Yeah, so the other hard part while we fight him during this domain is being aware that we need to deal more damage than he's actually healing up. And thankfully with Gogeta, we actually just action canceled his heal. So he's not going to heal. There we go. So post super, we do get the counter, and that's ×3 damage right there. Not terrible. There we go. We get the dodge, and we get the counter on Int Gogeta. Nice. Perfect. So this did work out the way I wanted to. So 50 million on the non-active skill turn. Again, obviously could have been better if we had switched, if we had waited a turn. But I do think it was better to deal. I think realistically we did more damage by switching in last turn while that domain was not up. I mean, we're still dealing decent damage here. All right, and then go Cheetah. And then next turn, who do we have next turn? Oh, I think we have the Giant next turn. We should be able to, because it'll be turn 5. So we should be able to Giant Form next turn. Yeah. And that'll remove at least the threat of the AoE super for that turn. But perfect. Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's Giant Form it up. And let's just take whatever we can find here. Yeah, so we're just whittling away at that health now, right? We're barely chipping away. But then again, Goku's Giant Form was never known for damage. It's just here to get rid of this super. Perfect. Alright, there's the next Giant Form attack. I wonder if we can actually get this whole bar down. We're getting close. There we go, last one. I don't think we will, though. Oh, maybe. Take out the bar. Take out the bar. Hey, we did it! We got him down to just 1 bar of HP. Okay, so now let's go ahead and I think STR. Well, actually, no. I think AGL Gogeta would be fine in slot 1, right? Yeah. No, it might be better to do STR Goku. Might be better to do STR Goku because it is, what is this, 7? Oh yeah. Well, wow. Yeah, it's actually turned 7. Okay, there we go. Well, I'll take a dodge. That's fine. Okay, perfect. So between his supers, probably not gonna kill. Yeah, look at that. See, we're doing no damage with this. But then again, SCR Goku's not really known for damage, but still, the domain really does hurt things. There we go. And now Gogeta, even on his non-active skill turn, should be able to do the trick here. Let's do it, boy. One more. All right. 40 million. This should be it. This should be it. This 12 key should finish it off. Here we go. We got it. Excellent. Easy day there. Yeah. Excellent. So there we go. New event taken down with GT Heroes. So, that is it for the video, guys. If you guys liked the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let us know, what team did you use to take this down? Because honestly, this was a bit of a challenge to do without any of the new units. I'm not going to lie. Maybe it's specifically because I was trying to keep it thematic and go with GT Heroes. There might be better options, I think, but this was definitely a really fun run. And, you know, as always, I try to do these fights for you guys with the new units whenever it's kind of the first iteration that we do it, or without the new units, rather. So, you know, definitely was a bit of a challenge there. Now, I will say that I do think the last 2 fights, the 17 and the Omega fights, are definitely in consideration for the hard fights in the game. The problem is it takes 30 to 45 minutes to get to each of those phases. So I don't know if I want to consider that. All right. This might have to be a situation that we do like FOB, where we only come back to just the last phase with a team. I don't know. We'll kind of gauge how the community feels on that. So actually, if you're watching this, let us know here what you guys think on that issue, because I mean, I don't mind doing it. It's a little faster to get done than festival battles, so it's not too bad. But it is still a drag. So, but let us know what you guys think about those two things in the comments down below. So, what team did you use, and what do you think about considering this Omega fight for future showcases? Let us know in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.